I don't want to discourage people from it, but I remember one time that I had a scrub tech say, "Hey, have a good evening." And it was like 4 o'clock, and they made some joke about going to a steak dinner or whatever, going to play golf or whatever it was. And I was like, "That's what you think I get to do?" And they kind of laughed and like, "Oh yeah, you sales reps all have the same easy job."
When you're building relationship and trust with people, it takes time. It's not like a fly by night thing. And if it is, then it's probably going to be short lived. So
Yeah, I mean that's what this is. Like you said, it's relationships. And I mean, it can take years to convert a joint surgeon, and that might not ever happen. I mean, and so I don't want to discourage people from it, but it's not, I mean, like I remember one time that I had a scrub tech say, "Hey, have a good evening." And it was like 4 o'clock, and they made some joke about, going to a steak dinner or whatever, going to play golf or whatever it was. And I remember it was one of those days where I'd kind of just had enough of everybody that I turned around and I was like, I'm not, that's what you think I get to do? And they kind of laughed and like, "Oh yeah, you sales reps all have the same easy job." And it was like, well, no, I'm going to go downstairs and rebuild all the instruments that we use today for the next 2 hours. And the ones that broke, I'm going to have to go to the office and get replacements for them to bring them back up here because we get to do all this tomorrow again. And it was just kind of this wake up call to the scrub tech, like, oh,
yeah.
it's not just high fives and, steak dinners
Yeah.
in the operating room kind of deal. It was like, no, there's still more work to be done. So yeah,
Right. Yeah. Behind the veil. Yep. For
yeah.
sure. Thanks for tuning in to the Healthy Careers Podcast. In 2024, we reached over 32,000 listeners and ranked in the top 15% of all podcasts. We're proud to have SharePro Health as a sponsor and are currently looking for 2 more partners in 2025. If you're looking to connect with healthcare leaders, providers, and innovators, we'd love to spread the word about your service, product, or business. Reach out to me, Maddie, for more details. And I think it is a great career to get into, especially if you have that passion and you're kind of, like you said, you enjoy the OR, you want to be a part of that, but maybe you want out of the clinical side of things, or, you just want to have something that's new or exciting or different, or you feel like you're more on that consultant side than that of being bedside 24/7. And I think that that's admirable, but I also think that it's very competitive right now. Tons of people will reach out to me and say, like, "Do you know of any place that's hiring?" Because when I look on Indeed or I look on LinkedIn, any type of those roles, there's 300 plus applicants. And it's like, how do I stand out? And, I'm always a firm believer of like, build a relationship, get connected to somebody, because your application, if there's 300 people, like it's just luck at that point that you're at the top of the list when they open it up to view the applications. But like, what advice would you give somebody that was in that position that really wanted to make the jump, but didn't really know how to combat that?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's completely and totally a relationship based. I mean, that's really what everything in life is relationship based. I mean, if there's 300 applicants, yeah, sure, let's throw out 10% on the bottom that really have no business being there, but everybody else is showing up as supposed to be there. So the other 270 people that are supposed to, that they have a right at the table, probably, if that's what we want to say. So like for somebody that's a clinician wanting to get into it, like let's say it's a nurse or a PA that's around that's in the industry, like say they're in orthopedics or spine or whatever side of that they want. I mean, I think it's good to kind of like start dropping feelers out, or, like, hey, what would this look like? Do you guys ever hire people like this? I mean, I know some PTs that have left being physical therapy to go in and be like, reps and so forth, and have been, extremely successful because they've got the background, the clinical knowledge to be really successful inside the operating room or whatever field they go into with sales. And so I think it's really about networking and having those relationships and those conversations with people that you're interested in doing that, because like you said, I mean, it's the luck of the draw that somebody pulls your file. I mean, and looks at it. It's kind of like trying to apply to fancy Ivy League. I mean, school.
Yeah,
it's like
it's a crapshoot.
You're one in a million people that have a really good score, dude. And so yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you recommend that people reach out? Like, let's say somebody wanted to get into it and they were like, "Hey, Kris, can I come shadow you?"
Yeah. So I have people shadow me during the summer a lot of the times, or like surgeons will bring somebody along that they have in their family or somebody and be like, "Hey, my nephew's interested in doing this. Can he come hang out? It's a little bit more difficult now back to how things have changed. Just following me. I mean, you're not going to have a 16-year-old just show up in the OR nowadays without really having the right relationships. But yeah, I think shadowing and seeing what it's like. One problem with shadowing is usually they're in the operating room to shadow, and the operating room is the cool part of the whole thing. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
like, you know, it's Sunday in the NFL kind of deal. There's all the fireworks and the fun and all that stuff, and it's not Monday through Friday, watching tape and
Right.
grinding. Yeah. So
Okay. And I'm trying to think of what other questions I have because I'm always so curious about it. Do you think at what point would you say like you own a company? So if somebody came to you and they're like, "Hey, I've been a PA for X amount of years and I'm looking to move into this side of the things." At what point would you say that's appropriate? Like how many years of experience would you want somebody to have going into this role?
I don't know if there's a set number. I think there's people that can be 10 years into a job and probably need 10 to 20 more years in the job. I mean, and then there's people that you see that have been doing something for 3 months and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you're naturally good at this. So I don't think that there's necessarily a set like time frame that I'd want. Usually how people get hired with me or around me are, or like we all have a good idea who needs help or what people are looking for. And so I'll get phone calls like, hey, this person's come to me, they're looking to get in, or you in need of help or anything, I think they'd be a good fit. I mean, I'm a mid-size, we have smaller, OEMs and so forth. And so like, there's nobody applying to some kind of like database that I'm going to find out about. I mean, this is people call me saying, hey,
Doing a job.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, this guy is really good. I really like him. Do you have place or do you know of anybody that would be willing to hire somebody who's looking to hire? And then there's that back to you said relationships and network of,
Yeah. Establish that.
and I keep my eyes on scrub techs that I think, could make the transition because just because you're really good in the OR doesn't necessarily know you're going to be good at doing this, so yeah.